It's now only 9 months to the first test flight. In Toulouse, the tail cone has finally been fixed, and the A380 is at last ready to move to the next stage of assembly. For Gilles Cormier, it's a relief.
Maybe we forget a little the trouble we encountered during the past weeks, and now we are looking at the aircraft itself, the achievement, more than the difficulties we had.
Now's the chance to see at last the biggest airliner ever built. With the shell of this aircraft complete, things are about to get really complicated. The plane is scheduled to spend the next few months in this vast hall, where thousands of parts will be fitted, including over 500 miles of wiring. The man in charge of this tricky phase is fully aware there's an awful lot of work to be done by the end of October.
It's a very difficult challenge, because it's a prototype. So it's very difficult to meet our deadline.
August is fast approaching, the traditional holiday month in France when most of the country shuts down. For Airbus engineers, this year there will be no holiday.
My family are very aware of this personal challenge. So everybody in the family is okay to say, okay, this year it's the aircraft year.
The plane is lifted on huge jacks and teams of technicians begin work. The next milestone is when the aircraft will be revealed to the world, just 196 days from now. Attending will be VIPs, 5,000 guests and the world's media, with the pictures beamed by satellite all over the world. But for now, one 55-year-old man has a rather special interest in the new machine. Jacques Rosé will be the first person in the world to fly the plane. Seeing it for the first time, his reaction is not exactly what you'd expect.
Generally speaking, it's an aircraft. Larger than the one we have already, but I think I feel very, very confident.
He's confident because although the plane is still far from finished, he and his team have already spent thousands of hours flying it. These flight simulators hold the heart and soul of the new plane, already living and already being tested. The state-of-the-art computerized flight control system means that the plane can be made to handle almost any way the development team chooses.
You don't realize that you fly such a big aircraft. You fly it like you fly a little aircraft. It's incredible. It's very, very easy to fly, like a bicycle. It's a kind of large bicycle, if you like.
The simulator is so advanced that today they are testing a scenario that is only like to occur once in over 1,000 years of flying.
3, 2, 1, now.
The wings are covered in ice, 2 of the engines have failed, and half of the flight computers have gone offline. Can the plane still be controlled?
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
The technology that makes the plane so safe is also extremely complex. And when battling against a deadline, complexity eats valuable time. The schedule is slipping.
Getting the airplane out on time is critically important. There are significant penalties that we would have to pay to each customer if we delay his aircraft after a certain grace period of, I don't want to say how long, but a certain grace period involved in every contract.
We can't relax.
we have no right, we have no time to relax. So every hour, every minute we are there on the workshop, our main job is to receive pressure and to transmit pressure. And it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
The penalties for late delivery run to hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. And that pressure runs down the chain of command, all the way to the men and women building the machine.
Some people could, how do you say, break down, no?
Christian Polite is the engineer in charge of the tail fin, known as the vertical tailplane or the VTP. Building this huge part has not gone smoothly, but finally it's time to install the last piece, a camera that gives the pilot a bird's eye view from the very top of the fin, some 23 metres up.
Right now we're going up to the almost to the very top of the vertical tailplane in order to install the last component which remains on the VTP still left. Yeah? You can easily see that this part is only screwed to the structure by, I guess, 20 screws around, and it has to be connected to the electric system via these two little connectors. The signals are transferred via a fiber optical cable down to a monitor in the cockpit.
Here at the Airbus factory in Stade, Germany, back in February 2004, Christian oversaw the final construction of the largest carbon fibre fin ever conceived. The ambitious scale of the production process meant there were always going to be problems.
We started with a schedule which allowed us to assemble the first fin within a reasonable time, but in fact we encountered problems which delayed the time for the assembly, and to worsen the situation, the lead time was shortened. So we ended up with a lead time that was nearly half of the original lead time we planned.
The fin was delivered on time, but it wasn't completely finished. Christian has had to move to France to continue the work.
We came here and thought we have a good planning, we have a good time schedule, we have everything on hand, but it wasn't like that. The moment we started working, we had to change each and every point. The planning was upside down, and so we had to start to work. So that's the way you can find the way through the jungle. Yeah.
Now though, as the screws go in on the camera, the end is in sight.
It's a good sound. That means the screw is in. With every screw we're a little step towards the end, yeah?
But then there's a problem.
Lass mal sehen. Nee, nee, nee. Lass mal sehen, ja. Lass mal.
The fibre optic cable is too short to reach the camera.
Okay, da hast du nichts mehr. The connector is here, and the cable ends here, and we have to have another 1 centimeter, about half an inch, which is the cable too short. I mean, but these are, yeah, these moments really piss me off. I mean, when you're almost done, so close, you can see the end. You almost stepped over the line, and then someone blocks you, hits you in the face, saying, "Hey, you're not yet done. How could you imagine?"